You know, in some of the oldest folklore, you hear about these beings that aren't quite ghosts and they're not quite human either. But today we are diving headfirst into one of those chilling stories, the legend of the Neil Yakshini. Right off the bat, let's just let that sink in. This isn't your average campfire tale. This is a warning. If you hear her call and you're tempted to follow, well, that's it. It's a one-way trip. So what exactly are we dealing with here? A Yakshini isn't just some random spirit. The stories describe her as this supernatural being of, devastating beauty. So captivating that if you form a bond with her, it's a wrap. Not even death can break it. And this is the creature at the very heart of our story tonight. And like so many good horror stories, this one kicks off on a dark, lonely road. And of course, with two friends who have absolutely no idea what they're about to drive straight into. So let's meet Ravi and Akash. So here's the situation. Our guys, Ravi and Akash, are stuck, middle of nowhere, deep in the Neelanchal forest. Their car's engine is just smoking, totally cooked. And to make things a whole lot worse, they're completely out of water. It's that perfect storm of vulnerability, you know? When you're that isolated, the forest itself starts to feel like it's watching you. And just when things are starting to feel really hopeless, they see something. Through the dark, there's this old, weathered signpost. It points to a place called Neil Sarovar, Neil Lake, only 2 kilometers away. It feels like a miracle, right? But in these kinds of stories, what looks like a lifeline is usually just the bait for the trap. So, they head for the lake. But when they get there, the vibe is off. It's not peaceful, it's got this heavy, ancient silence to it. And it's right here that one of the friends, Akash, is about to have an encounter that will change absolutely everything. They reach the water, and Ravi just needs to step away for a second, into the bushes. And that's all it takes. That one simple moment leaves Akash standing all by himself, right there by the shore of this creepy, moonlit lake. The perfect opportunity. This is where it gets crazy, because you've got these two totally different realities happening at the exact same time. On one hand, Akash is completely mesmerized by this beautiful woman he sees in the water. Meanwhile, Ravi comes back, sees Akash is gone, and just figures, oh, he probably got spooked and went back to the car. So while Akash is literally being enchanted and led away, Ravi has no idea. He's walking in the complete opposite direction. And this is how she gets him. Her voice is described as being like pure magic, and it just wipes his mind clean. He completely forgets about Ravi, the broken down car, all of it. He just says yes. He follows her like he has no choice. And that is the key right there. He accepted the invitation. And in that one moment, he sealed his fate. Game over. Okay, so let's cut back to Ravi. He's walking back to the road, totally expecting to find Akash just hanging out by the car. But he's not there. And this is when that little feeling of unease starts to morph into real, genuine fear. So he's shouting his friend's name, Akash! Akash! But the only thing that answers him is his own voice, echoing back through the thick, dead silence of the forest. The panic is starting to set in now. His friend is just gone. And then, out of that total silence, he hears something new. It's not a shout, not a cry for help. It's this soft, rhythmic chiming. The sound of a woman's anklets, coming from somewhere deep in the woods. A sound that has absolutely no business being out here. So Ravi, drawn by the sound, follows it and finds her, Neelakshi. He asks if she's seen his friend, and she gives him this sweet, innocent offer. Why don't you come to my mansion and wait for him? But Ravi's focused on finding Akash, so he says no. And this right here is the turning point. The second he rejects her invitation, the pain facade just drops. Her face goes cold, bitter, and then poof, she vanishes back into the trees. So now Ravi is completely lost, totally confused, just stumbling through the dark. Until he sees it, the faint glow of a lantern. And next to it, there's an old man, a mysterious figure, who it turns out knows the dark secrets of this place. And he's about to give Ravi one last critical warning. The old man tells him, straight up, if the Yakshini has your friend, he's never coming back. And Ravi, understandably, is just confused. He asks, the what? Which Yakshini? He has no idea what he's up against. And that's when the old man finally gives the evil a name. Wow. I mean, what a description. Not a ghost, not a monster, a beautiful shadow of death. That is just bone-chilling. The old man goes on to explain she was trapped in this forest ages ago and now she hunts here on moonlit nights. And the old man lays out her whole process, step by step. It's a pattern, a hunt. First, she only comes out on moonlit nights. Second, she uses her incredible beauty to lure in young men. Third, she leads them to that old mansion. And fourth, nobody ever comes back. It's a clear, deadly system. So Ravi hears this terrifying, direct warning about exactly what's happened to his friend. And what does he do? He completely dismisses it. He thinks the old man is just some crazy hermit who's been living in the woods too long. His rational mind just can't accept it, and so he ignores the warning and walks off alone. A fatal, fatal mistake. And that's it. Ravi turns his back on the one person who could have saved him. He walks deeper into the darkness, completely alone, heading straight for the story's climax and the final horrifying trick that's waiting for him.
Just when he's about to give up all hope, he sees someone standing on the path up ahead. The height, the clothes, it looks exactly like Akash. Can you imagine the relief? Just this overwhelming wave of, he's okay, I found him.
But something is so wrong. This person, this thing that looks just like Akash. It speaks, but it doesn't turn around. It just says he found a way back to the lake so they can finally get some water. And Ravi, despite how weird this is just so relieved that he follows. They get back to the edge of that same creepy lake. The figure of Akash just stands there, motionless, and then points down at the water. "Look," it says, in this weird flat voice. "Look at that beautiful fish. It's shining like silver." And Ravi, curious, leans in for a closer look. And that's the moment he looks into the water, and the reflection staring back at him isn't Akash. It's her. It's Neelakshi. By the time his brain can even process what he's seeing, it's too late. The figure shoves him hard into the dark water, and the forest goes silent once again. And that's how the legend ends, with Neelakshi going back to her mansion, just waiting for the next lost traveler. And it leaves you with this really unsettling question, right? If you were Ravi, lost and scared in those woods, and you heard that old man's crazy story, would you have listened? Or would your own disbelief have been the last mistake you ever made?